Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Edge by Ascential Amazon monthly briefing for the month of January 2019. If you're a returning attendee to one of these webcasts that we're conducting, welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome. For those of you who may be first timers, this is an annual or a monthly webinar series that we conduct here at Edge by Ascential, taking a look at Amazon and e-commerce more broadly, looking at the top developments of the month with our key implications and insights around that. We're really excited to kick it off again in 2019 and bring you everything focused around Amazon every single month for the rest of this year. So jumping right in, I did want to promote another way for you as someone who interfaces with us here at Edge by Ascential to meet up with us and talk about all things Amazon outside of one of our webinars here. We have two exciting upcoming opportunities for those of you focused on excelling your Amazon business. First, we have on April 16th in New York City, an Amazon hackathon for the United States. It's a full-day summit with amazing content, including client case studies, perspectives on Amazon, and then my personal favorite part of these events are Hack Shop Masterclass sessions. They're basically assigned breakout topics. They're led by Amazon and e-commerce subject matter experts, and you get assigned a non-competitive peer group where you get to actually really dive deeply into the actual tangible Amazon tactics that really affect your business. It's really an immersive experience and is a very kind of deep immersive way to interface with us and our experience and knowledge around Amazon in a deeper fashion than maybe you'd get from attending one of our webcasts like this. There are limited seats and early bird tickets are available right now. We've sold out this event pretty much every time we've put it on. And so I'd suggest you look into it if you are interested. You can either reach out to an Edge partner, myself, I can forward your email to the right people, or reach out directly at our Edge by Ascential website. There's these events listed under the events tab there. And just also following up on that, we do have a European event, Amazon Hackathon, coming in May 7th in London. Again, it's an exclusive full-day masterclass summit for Amazon and e-commerce leaders, but focus more on the European markets. Limited seats and early bird tickets as well available here, and these events also sold out. So please do reach out to someone on the Edge by Ascential team, myself, or reach out on our website as well and get signed up for these really awesome events. So I just wanted to brief what we'll be talking about here today. And I thought with starting this webcast series again for the first time in 2019, it'd be great to kind of refresh and introduce myself and Edge by Ascential to all the audience members here. And I'm going to do that through the context of talking about how we at Edge by Ascential with our various new product tools can really drive in on not just high level Amazon expertise, but give you the dashboards and analytics you need to focus on your specific category online by basically previewing some of the information that you can get from interfacing with that, specifically focused on the CE category. I'm going to do that pretty briefly. And then I'm going to do what is an ongoing legacy aspect of these webcasts for us. It's our recent developments recap. For those of you who have attended these webinars before, you're familiar with this, but basically I'll run through all of the recent key strategic developments and headlines from Amazon that we've seen in the past month, how they're really relevant to suppliers especially, but also competitors with Amazon and other industry incumbents. And then finally, try and bring that back with the key implications for your business. It's one thing to see a headline, but it's another to think about, how is this going to be relevant to Amazon, this really relevant and important e-commerce customer, and kind of the future of retail and Amazon's disruption of that. But before we get into those developments, let's take a look at how we at Edge by Ascential can really serve you in your category looking at Amazon. So in understanding where some of these different data views I'm going to show you come from, you need to understand kind of the journey of our business, where Edge by Ascential, the brand you see here on the screen today, comes from. And it really began in 2015. Retail insights and advisory firms, Planet Retail and Retail Net Group, merged via acquisition. And then through acquisitions over the following years of really some of the best in class data and analytics tools in the e-commerce space in the market. One Click Retail, the leading Amazon sales and share platform, was acquired in 2016. Clavis Insight, your online presence monitoring tool, in 2017, and BrandView, also, your online digital shelf presence monitoring tool, but with a little bit more of a deeper focus on price and promo, was acquired in 2018 to bring us to where we are today, where we're bringing all these 4 brands and their various different expertise, capability areas under one roof. And our parent company, Ascential, has made these acquisitions to really assemble the best company in the market to help you better operate and succeed in this, what we're calling e-commerce driven world. And so we were excited to launch the Edge brand name in October of 2018 and come to you today with all of the platforms you know and maybe use every day, but basically as product solutions. Edge market share representing what One Click Retail is providing for clients in the market. Edge digital shelf representing Clavis Insights, price and promo from BrandView, and then retail insights from Planet Retail R&G. So let's exhibit that basically breadth and depth of what we want to kind of offer to the market in terms of the CE category specifically. And I think it's good to start at kind of a 1,000-foot level here and think about categories and their speed of moving online. We always are talking about e-commerce and its disruptive force on the traditional retail landscape. And one aspect of that, when you get away from those kind of really hyperbolic headlines of retail apocalypse, stores closing, what have you, is that e-commerce has had an uneven effect on all of the categories that people shop for. Consumer electronics was a leading category to go online. There's a number of factors for that. E-commerce items price to size and weight ratio makes them more successfully sold online with the realities of fulfillment expenses and delivering the items to people's homes. The items are also, pretty precisely searched for by the shopper, making an e-commerce platform like Amazon, for example, where the shopper goes there and has for many years with the intent of basically spearfishing, looking for a specific item. It lends itself better there. So when we look at this from kind of a category to category basis, consumer electronics, we'd argue is fairly mature, at least relative to other categories online. Still growing rapidly. We have it at a 6% CAGR from 2018 to 2023 in our forecast, but already 37% online. And so there's a level of maturity there that brings really a high level of competition to this category when you're a CE supplier trying to sell through Amazon or other channels. The sophistication there from your competition is high. And so you really need to bring kind of the best insights and data and really have a live view on what exactly is happening with your product listings on Amazon and other e-commerce platforms to really try and figure out where you can get that incremental growth from and basically win in this really competitive and active online category. Also, interestingly enough as well, it's not just traditional manufacturers that are making this a really competitive category online. It's one of the most mature Amazon private label categories. When we think of Amazon private label, I'm going to get into this in a little bit in the recent development section. The recent headlines have been all of their moves into new categories like consumables and fashion, but Amazon Basics is Amazon's legacy mainstay private label platform, and they were in basically the consumer electronics and accessories categories to start, and that's really Amazon's beginning. And they will, on their own site, list these items in really heavily promoted places, really trying to offer a cheap alternative in many of these categories. And some would classify this almost as predatory on Amazon's side, offering their own brands in this manner. But looking at some of the key views that we at Edge by Ascential can provide across our digital shelf, price and promo, otherwise products, looking at digital shelf. One thing here, just a data view on the headphones category, getting a look at the depth of product images that you average across your product assortment online. More product images. This is very much e-commerce basics for many of us on the line, but more product images is better, and that's one of the data views we look to provide our clients. Additionally, price and promo monitoring across Amazon, but also across other platforms as well. giving you a true data view and being able to kind of see which levers you can pull as an e-commerce practitioner to really drive incremental sales growth with your price and promos, and also managing that across your pretty diverse, probably e-commerce online customer base, whether it be bestbuy.com, amazon.com, or target.com. And then additionally, this all comes down to how are we going to monitor and look at this from a success standpoint, and that's basically your sales volume. And I think the OCR legacy product, which is now our sales and share product, really gives you a deep day-to-day view on how your item listings are doing in their category online, and basically getting that sales and share monitoring to make sure that the growth you're experiencing is not just the rising tides lift all boats e-commerce growth. You are getting the growth that you should be getting within your category. And basically, how is that growth positioned against your competitors? Are you winning because of these strategies you're enacting around things from your online presence, your product content? Are you winning because of your price and promo activity? And basically, by using these tools in tandem across our platform, you can kind of see, test, and learn best practices for your specific product listings on Amazon.com and elsewhere. Now, I wanted to leave a major component of our webinar here open to look at the recent events. Amazon has been particularly active with some really key kind of strategic transitions over the last month since we last spoke in late December. So I wanted to dive into those and really look at the key implications of these big events and strategic moves by Amazon for you and your business. And I think we'll start abroad first and then dial in on some more generalist Amazon strategies. But one of the key headlines in terms of Amazon's success as a growth platform is India. Amazon has time and time again laid out through their investment and through their statements to the public that India is a key market to drive future growth. The United States is far and away the majority of their sales. If I showed you this chart here on the left with the US on it, you wouldn't be able to see many of the other markets given the share of sales moving through the US marketplace. But the US, by some predictions, has close to 100 million Prime members in a country that's population of 330 million people. There's some who say that we're going to see still high and rapid growth out of the US market, North America in general, but Amazon's really going to seek in their retail business to find growth elsewhere, and that's in really lucrative emerging markets like India. Unfortunately for Amazon and others, including Walmart, there are new changes to the foreign direct investment law that are going to severely affect their business. Namely, these are that sellers on these 3P marketplaces there, no seller can have more than 20% of their total business moving through one marketplace. The marketplace can't dictate price or discounts of these items. Marketplace operators like Amazon can't have equity stakes in the individual sellers on their platforms. And then they also must submit an annual compliance report on all of this information. And you have to, imagine these marketplaces have millions of sellers on them in some cases, to an Indian regulatory board. This is going to severely hamper the businesses of foreign marketplace operators in India. They already can't sell a first-party business there, and now they're severely limited. Amazon's one of their top sellers is a company called Cloudtail, and Amazon is an equity holder in them. Cloudtail has over 40% of their total sales volume moving through the Amazon marketplace platform. This could be a really critical and damaging part of Amazon's international strategy to have the Indian marketplace disrupted like this. The only, I guess, potential mitigating factor here is that it's not just Amazon affected by this. Flipkart is now owned by Walmart, which is another foreign direct investment example. And so as the other key marketplace in the market and Amazon's key competitor, also under these same restrictions. Moving to Europe. German courts have ruled that dash buttons are unlawful. For those of you who are unfamiliar, dash buttons are basically connected buttons you can put throughout your home to reorder items with the simple press of the button really easily that you use most. They're branded with your favorite brands. You basically dictate what you want. The issue that the German Consumer Protection individuals have with these buttons is that there is a lack of transparency around the product information of what you're buying, and then also, I think more importantly, the price. Amazon uses a algorithm to price their items on the platform based on what other retailers are doing online and otherwise, and then also what their 3P sellers are doing there. And when a Dash purchaser presses their Dash button, they are unaware of what price they're paying. And so basically Germany has completely outlawed this system there. It'll be interesting to see, if other consumer regulatory environments, how they feel about this. I think the key implication for suppliers here is that if Dash is an area you're kind of interfacing with or utilizing, there could be some challenges and headwinds there. They've got a lot to figure out. And I think, Amazon's going to continue to experience conflict between different aspects of its legacy business and its future business. Dash is a technologically innovative future shopping solution, but there's a definite friction point when that goes up against, it interfaces with the Amazon marketplace, which has highly dynamic pricing. So there's definitely an opportunity for shopper dissatisfaction and regulatory issues here if situations like shoppers buying things for prices they are unaware of come up. Also in Europe, and I think this is a really interesting development in terms of Amazon as a global platform and with really highly global aspirations in terms of cross borders, that they've started to list Whole Foods private label items on the various European marketplace platforms. As of today, it's mostly really shelf stable and kind of e-commerce highly viable items that are listed on some of these European marketplaces. We're looking at nuts, grains, dried fruit to this stage, but Whole Foods really only has operations primarily in the US, somewhat in Canada, and then I believe they only have maybe 1 or 2 locations in the UK. So Amazon is bringing Whole Foods private label, which has brand equity around the idea of organics and good for you foods, and bringing that to the European market and competing with European suppliers there, bringing a US brand. It just really shows the power of Amazon as a global platform to do something like this in a way other retailers maybe can't. And it's something that if I was a supplier in some of these markets, I'd be considering the potential to have a new competitor in your category that has, to this point, had no operations in your market because of Amazon. Moving forward and also abroad, we look to the Middle East here, and Souq, a platform acquired by Amazon a few years ago, is actually going to be de-emphasized going forward. Amazon decided to maintain the Souq marketplace brand name in the Middle East after the acquisition, but apparently is currently telling new sellers looking to get on the marketplace platform that to not interface with Souq, to prepare to be listed on an Amazon soon to be launched marketplace there. It's an interesting move for Amazon. They spent a lot of money to acquire what is really the preeminent and most powerful Middle Eastern marketplace platform, and to simply sunset that brand in this way must indicate that they feel like the Amazon brand name should be the way they go to market there in those countries. It also is interesting to think about, if Amazon comes to your market in the future via acquisition, just how they're going to treat that platform. If you were a supplier or seller selling through Souq, your business has been transformed via this acquisition, and actually going forward, you're now going to be interfacing with a different market, with a different new partner, with perhaps very different kind of negotiating tactics and strategies and data orientation and goals. And then I think also looking at Amazon, this has been a key point of emphasis for them going forward, is more generally around the world. We're seeing it mostly in the US, but expect it to come to your market as well soon if you do not sit in the US. Amazon is looking to do more than just deepen their assortment via listing millions of new sellers. They're looking to add brands that really resonate with today's consumer and the future consumer. On the right side of the slide here, you can see Walmart's strategy around this. Walmart has made a number of strategic acquisitions and partnerships to add brands that they feel will really sell well on their Walmart online properties and otherwise, and really resonate with new consumers that they're trying to acquire for the future. Amazon has traditionally struggled in this area. As we'll talk about right now, actually, D2C sellers oftentimes don't want to sell on Amazon. They feel it dilutes their brand value to beyond what is known as the everything store. So news emerged from a few publications that Amazon actually approached popular D2C, digitally native, trendy brands like the ones you see here on the left, clothing companies, home furnishing companies, with really lucrative terms to try and get them on the marketplace platforms. They were offering financial investments in their businesses all the way up to the range of $1 million. They were offering free advertising on Amazon.com, free access to fulfillment by Amazon for ultra fast delivery. Amazon is looking to make themselves more than just a convenience, endless aisle shop, but really have brands that shoppers see as a way to drive them to a destination that is Amazon.com. So I think we will expect to see Amazon look to do more than just depth, but also to do quality in terms of their assortment and do more things like this going forward. And then also in that same avenue, with their kind of established partners, news emerged from the Wall Street Journal that Amazon is offering somewhat lucrative terms to have brands deliver, test, and launch new products on Amazon.com. GNC had an artificial sweetener that they launched there. The headlines on the left speak for themselves. When we think about Amazon exclusive brands, private label, and private brands, it all kind of blurs together in the headlines, but there's really a strategy here that, Amazon is not a legacy manufacturer. They've got really deep shopper insights. They're a scaled platform that's really relevant for sales dollars, but they're going to lean on their product manufacturing partners to launch the items, hopefully on Amazon.com for them, that really drive shoppers to the marketplace. So look for Amazon to launch more of this exclusive brand category going forward. So items that are manufactured and sold by a manufacturer, but are exclusive to Amazon only. I also think this is a good opportunity to bring up a new program that maybe some on the call are unaware of. Last fall, Amazon launched a program known as Born to Run. It's a product launch acceleration program for some of their key vendor partners, legacy manufacturers to utilize. One of the major complaints many manufacturers and 1P vendors on Amazon have with interfacing with the platform is Amazon doesn't order enough inventory when they're looking to launch a new product item. So they're consistently going out of stock, which really dampens their performance. It dampens their position in search. It is poor kind of customer satisfaction. It's a bad shopping experience. Many 1P suppliers move to actually utilize 3P selling as a way to help them with their new product launches, using 3P listings as kind of support inventory to go deeper than their 1P vending. Amazon's looking to develop a solution for their vendors here, and Born to Run is the first iteration of that. And the idea here is that vendors, key vendors with Amazon, can now basically set the inventory levels, I believe up to $500,000 worth of inventory with Amazon that they want Amazon to stock for a 10-week period for a new product launch. The commitment on behalf of the vendors here is that they will fund AMS up to the value above at least 10% of what the inventory cost was to Amazon, and Amazon has full return rights. So if the items don't sell, the vendor has to take them back. The idea here is that for the vendors, they can launch products that they think are going to be really successful on Amazon with the proper inventory levels. And for Amazon, they have these vendors working with them on these initiatives versus doing it themselves with 3P selling or what have you. So the recommendation here for vendors is really to look to see if you can interface to this program if you are looking to launch items on Amazon in a more successful fashion going forward. Moving forward as well, Amazon also announced plans to extend the Whole Foods store network. In the headlines, it seems like the Rocky Mountain region and other areas where they don't really have an established Whole Foods presence, but they feel like the stores can really resonate with the local shopper bases is the current areas of target. You can see it here on the left map. There's definite holes in the Whole Foods store network. Amazon made a major acquisition here in grocery, in physical retailing, but Whole Foods presence is really very concentrated on often coastal, often affluent, often urban areas. And there's vast stretches of the country that Amazon wants to serve with their future grocery offering where they just simply aren't there yet. Many of you may know Amazon is now delivering groceries from Whole Foods stores, almost like a fulfillment center, via their Prime Now rapid delivery program. So the idea here is that Amazon can tap into new shopper segments around the country using Whole Foods as the vehicle to do so, by launching stores and basically reaching new shoppers for their future grocery offering. But also on the back end of that, Amazon has to figure out ways to do this, and where is their real estate to potentially do this. And there have been rumors as well that Amazon is considering a number of closed Sears locations here. I just put this slide in because I think it's interesting to kind of look at the evolution of our digitally influenced retail landscape, and just that Sears, a retailer that many might say in the market was driven out of business by their inability to adapt to the rise of e-commerce, which is very much driven by Amazon, is now having closed store locations being considered by Amazon to open up Whole Foods stores to really extend Amazon's capabilities and presence in a category they want to get into. It's almost ironic a little bit. And then additionally, in considering the Whole Foods store network, it's going to be a focus strategy going forward. So another piece of news emerged over the past month that Amazon will cease to expand the Whole Foods more value-oriented 365 store network. These stores were a little bit more discount-oriented. It was Whole Foods' effort before Amazon's acquisition of them to kind of shrug off the whole paycheck perception that they had. And these stores around the country had moderate success, low double digits presence, as you can see here. But Amazon will solely focus on the mainstay Whole Foods banner in terms of extending their presence around the country, and not the 365 banner. Also in the realm of physical retailing, there were some estimates and consumer research coming from RBC Capital Markets around just how productive Amazon Go stores are. For everyone on the line, Amazon Go, as most of you probably know, is a store that's really innovative and disrupting the US retail landscape. It's checkoutless convenience. You scan your phone on the way into the store, select items off the shelves and simply walk out. Amazon uses technology with cameras and packaging and systems in store to automatically charge you for the items you select. After a very long period of beta testing with only employees in Seattle, they're actually starting to extend the store network slightly, launching a few stores in urban areas. Rumors emerge that they might launch up to 3,000 stores at some point, not confirmed by Amazon, but RBC Capital Markets did some, I'd say somewhat back of the napkin math, but did monitor traffic at these stores. They said it averaged out to 550 shoppers per day. And in doing kind of some math around this, they felt each store was probably putting off around $1.5 million per store per year in revenue. That's 50% more average revenue than what you'd get from a typical convenience store. And if rumors are to be believed that Amazon does plan to have a multi-thousand store network of Amazon Go stores, that would represent multiple billions of dollars in revenue in a physical format for Amazon in the future, if true. And then also in the realm of Amazon technology and new kind of areas, physical retailing being one, but also streaming being another. Amazon is launching a free ad-supporting streaming service through IMDb. This is going to operate basically as a, in our view, as a kind of a tier down from the Amazon Prime video streaming service, which obviously comes with membership fees. Amazon's looking to just simply extend their ecosystem. You know, Prime Video is a great benefit that many Prime members enjoy to have, that keeps them kind of locked into that membership fee every year. But as I said earlier, we believe Prime membership is reaching some levels of saturation. How does Amazon interface with more consumers around the country, gather more data on their behavior, serve them more advertising that's potentially beneficial to Amazon's sales? If they aren't Prime members, well, they're going to offer a service that's free. You don't need a membership, but has ads targeting these shoppers. So it's just a new way for Amazon to extend themselves into more consumer behavior with non-Prime members. And then looking in the realm of technology, you may be seen from previous webinars, Amazon has been testing heavily with augmented reality. They've extended the abilities of their home furnishings tool, where previously you could display a few items, some in the home furnishings category, just simply onto a room in your area. They're now launching officially this tool called Showroom, where you can select various items, change the colors of your walls, put various virtual items in the room next to one another. Really, it's a more full-fledged offering in terms of visualization of your total room in this category. Amazon views home furnishings as a high-growth category that doesn't have the penetration online that it will be long-term, and so they're leaning in heavily there to try and offer solutions in this category that's really typically fairly difficult to sell online, because shoppers really want to experience the items, visualize them in their homes. This is a tool to do that. It'll be interesting to see, and for us all to think about on the line, how Amazon might bring tools like augmented reality to other categories going forward. And then in the realm of fulfillment, home delivery, Amazon's connected home aspirations continue to extend further into the future here. Amazon Key, which was a system that used smart locks and various cameras to allow Amazon to begin testing and potentially in the future launch at scale in-home delivery to prevent things like porch piracy and to have items securely delivered in home, now has new capabilities. They launched a system where shoppers can now have items delivered within their garage, perhaps a more secure environment. Look for Amazon to just simply extend themselves into more aspects of consumers' homes. The whole Alexa smart speaker and other device-powered market is a key entrance into that area for them. Shoppers are increasingly in the future going to be more connected. They're going to have more of their consumer behavior, entertainment behavior, and other behavior happening through voice systems, through connected devices. They're going to look for more innovative security systems going forward. Amazon's trying to position themselves at the crux of all of that, to gather all of that consumer data, understand that shopper, and drive their own future success. So more capabilities like this, shopping oriented or otherwise, will continue to come out from Amazon. Also in the realm of exciting new technology that's now being trialed by Amazon is the Amazon Scout home delivery robot. You've maybe seen some of these types of technologies. There's a few out in the market. I think Starship Technologies actually has probably one of the most established and mature versions of this that's been testing, but it's basically a capsule delivery robot that is being trialed in one neighborhood in a county north of Seattle. And the idea is that the robot is an autonomous delivery system and can deliver something and deliver it to the right person in their location. Amazon is interesting with this strategy. They also have an online like-dislike tool that you maybe have heard me talk about in the past called Scout. It's interesting that they're reusing names here for things that are very different. But I think the implication here is Amazon is, a top R&D spender, and they're going to continue to look to innovate in ways that they can lower their top expense line, which is fulfillment. And if I were a supplier, the considerations here is Amazon views fulfillment expenses as a ballooning cost center for them. They're going to look to innovate in both technology and in negotiations to try and drive margin into their business and other aspects to really support that bottom line. Also, how do my items, my packaging get input into a system like this if this truly long-term 5 to 10 years actually starts to take a larger share of actual operational capacity for Amazon? So definitely not a near-term thing to consider, but we like to bring in, some of the more innovative long-term offerings as well to just get us thinking provocatively about the future and what Amazon might do. So I went through a lot of headlines very quickly there. I'd like to thank all of you for joining me on today's Amazon Monthly Briefing. Next month, we're going to get back a little bit more into our regular scheduling in terms of order, where I'll do the developments per usual. February is a bit of a shorter month, so there'll probably be a few less, we can hope. I will be relaying information based on Amazon's reporting results this evening, if you're in the United States, other times if you're elsewhere. So we'll be relaying kind of our top takeaways from that in that month and any other developments that may come up between now and then. And then also importantly, I just wanted to kind of relay some of our Edge Essential ways that we can help you in the first half of this webinar. We're going to get back into looking at deep dives into Amazon tactics and operating on Amazon next month in February. So look forward to that as well in the promotions. You can see my email here on the screen. Please feel free to reach out to me about anything you've seen on the webinar. And I'm just going to quickly check to see if we have any questions. So looking at our questions tool, and anyone on GoToWebinar, feel free to ask anything within your GoToWebinar tool. There's a question about the Amazon Go. If the Amazon Go C stores are 50% more than your average C store, is it likely to drop back? And if so, how soon after the novelty element wears off? I think one of the most interesting things to talk about with Amazon Go is what Amazon's going to decide in terms of its orientation. Is it going to be a true convenience store, you know, much like a 7-Eleven you might find with a lot of packaged items, or is it going to be more of, you know, a prepared food? So what we're seeing out of a lot of the locations they've got everything from meal kits that you can go home and all the ingredients are measured out, much like, you know, Blue Apron, to cook in your own home, to prepare foods, so sandwiches that you just carry out that are really high quality, and then very limited assortment in terms of impulse and you know, highly packaged manufactured items in some of these stores. Those tend to be the mainstays of most convenience stores out there in the market and seem to be an item that shoppers would want to buy in this type of format. So Amazon, I think, is still in a testing period. Are these places going to be more like a diner, or not a diner, but more like a food store? Or are they going to be more like a 7-Eleven going forward is a key question. I think if they orient to be more like a food store, I think we're going to continue to see those revenue numbers only continue to grow and be at a severe premium in terms of, you know, how much they're driving a year to your average convenience store. And I do agree with the listener's point that potentially if they are more convenience store oriented, they might come back down to more regular revenue numbers once the novelty runs off. But the question is, you know, how long does that novelty last? I think Amazon, as long as they have this technology and other convenience store operators don't, might be you know, the desired location to go to and drive shoppers in if they're given the option of 2 different locations. So it'll be an interesting thing to watch. And I'll take one more question because I know we've run over a little bit. Let's see here. Any information on Amazon Souq transition for first-party vendors? Is it only open to the 3P marketplace? Again, these rumors are just rumors right now, basically emerging from the marketplace. Right now, the news is just around Amazon's communication, what we've heard, to 3P sellers looking to get up and on Souq. I'd imagine that what Amazon does long term, and this is just our speculation, there's still, you know, a lot of things that need to change. The marketplaces haven't even launched yet in the Middle East, but I'd suspect that Amazon looks to take the hybrid operation that currently is conducted by Souq, both 1P and 3P, and just completely onboard that into the Amazon platform and eventually fully sunset the Souq brand name. A similar acquisition we can look to kind of see, you know, how Amazon treats situations like this is Quidsy. Amazon spent a significant amount of capital to acquire Quidsy, owner of diapers.com and other platforms, a number of years ago, and basically acquired it to gain strategic relevance in those categories, keep it from a competitor, and simply disbanded the brand name there and loaded all of that into the main Amazon marketplace platform. Amazon benefits by assortment depth associated with Amazon.com, and so as a platform long term, I don't expect them to continue to operate 2 different platforms. So if you're a 1P vendor operating in the Middle East, I'd expect that in the medium to long term, you are going to be interfacing with Amazon and Amazon alone. with that, I want to thank everyone for joining in with me today. Look forward to speaking to you next month at our next Amazon monthly briefing.